Whether you're stuck in traffic, hitting the gym, or just winding down, we are here to spill the hottest tea from your favorite Bravo shows. From the wildest reunions to the quietest social media unfollows, we cover it all. So welcome back to Reality TV Podcast and Clips. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Let's get into it on 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to this deep dive. Our mission today is really to look at the source material you shared and see how it shows the extreme pressure reality stars are under. We're tracking how this really private chaos gets judged through the public lens of TV.
And it seems like we're dissecting that interplay between, personal turmoil and the huge public cost that comes with it.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And this incident with Dorit Kemsley being 90 minutes late for a private flight, that's not just fashionably late.
Oh, not at all. It's a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
And, this delay, it's more than just an inconvenience. It really breaks all the unwritten rules of private travel. Rachel Zoe even made a point of saying, usually you show up 40 minutes early.
Right, because a 90-minute delay could jeopardize everything, couldn't it? The flight path, the landing slot.
Absolutely. Even the crew's mandated rest hours.
Yeah.
You're putting the whole trip at risk. And you could really see that stress in the cast's reactions.
Yeah, Kyle Richards and Amanda Francis called it wild. And Erica Jane, who is, usually so cool about everything, she said it was a different level of late.
She even mentioned that Dorit looked totally overwhelmed when she finally got there. I think they were genuinely scared the flight might just take off without her.
But then you have Sutton Strack, whose reaction was, well, it was completely different.
It was, and that's where the story really splits. Sutton was, as she put it, unfazed. She gave her this moment of grace, basically saying Dorit is going through a lot.
She felt like it wasn't her place to harass her about it. It was like a choice between logistics and empathy.
And that's where Dorit's side of the story comes in and provides all that crucial context. She said she was stressed and frazzled because of an impossible situation.
This wasn't just, she couldn't find her keys or got stuck in traffic.
No, this was a real family emergency. Her mother, who has macular degeneration, was traveling with her 2 kids, Jagger and Phoenix.
And the driver dropped them at the wrong terminal.
The wrong terminal. So Dorit had to become this, emergency travel agent on the spot, making sure her mom and her kids got rerouted and on their flight before she could even think about getting on her own. She said her mom was already frantic.
That adds such a humanizing layer to it. It really shifts the whole narrative from her being a diva to just being a daughter and a mom trying to handle a crisis.
It does.
Yeah.
But it also raises that classic reality TV question. Does the private emergency excuse the public fallout? It's such a fine line between what's expected and what's sympathetic.
A line the public loves to judge. Well, shifting from logistical chaos to financial battles, let's talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The divorce between Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker is getting really messy.
Incredibly acrimonious. And the court documents are starting to tell a very specific story, especially about their kids, Ace and Blaze.
Right. Kandi's making some pretty big claims. What's the main issue here?
So the core of it, according to the documents, is financial. Kandi is alleging that Todd isn't paying child support. She specifically mentions things like tuition, child care, medical bills, significant monthly expenses.
And she's saying he has the money to pay.
Exactly. She points to his recent international vacations as proof that he has the resources but isn't contributing.
And she's also going after his public image, isn't she? Saying he doesn't spend significant time with the kids and that his social media is all just a facade.
That's a huge part of it. And it got even more intense when she claimed he tried to stop the children from traveling to New York to visit her over the Christmas break.
Wow. That's a serious allegation.
It is, and it connects directly to her legal strategy. She originally filed for joint custody back in November.
But then Todd responded by asking for sole custody, right?
He did. And as soon as he did that, she immediately changed her filing to request primary custody. It shows how quickly this becomes a battle for control, both of the narrative and the kids' lives.
Meanwhile, Todd's legal team is pushing back. They're basically accusing her of trying the case in the media.
Yeah, his lawyers said they want to keep it in the court, and they called what Kandi is doing a public press tour, accusing her of, controlling this story by talking to media outlets.
It's just a constant war over who gets to write the story. And in the middle of all of this, Kandi also shared something really personal about her health.
She did. She revealed she's lost 16 pounds since she started her Broadway run in Juliet.
And she's attributing it to the stress of all this, along with diet, prayer, and fasting.
It's such a clear physical sign of the toll this is all taking. It's not weight loss from like a new wellness journey. It's from being in a pressure cooker.
Absolutely. Okay, so moving from those internal family pressures to more external forces. Let's talk about the power of fandom, specifically what happened on the Traitors.
This is such a fascinating case study because it shows how a celebrity who isn't even on the show can completely dictate the game.
We're talking about Donna Kelce.
We are. The contestants were, and this is not an exaggeration, they were terrified to banish her, a 73-year-old woman, all because she's Travis and Jason Kelce's mom.
They were scared of the Swifties.
100%. Stephen Colletti, who knows reality TV inside and out, said she had the strongest armor in the game because nobody wanted to be the person who upset Taylor Swift's fan base.
It's wild. Your value as a player has nothing to do with your strategy and everything to do with who your son is dating. The fear of an audience literally changed how they played the game.
And it was a really effective shield. For a while, at least. She did get banished in the 3rd episode.
But here's the best part.
The best part is that she was a traitor. So their suspicions were right, but the fear of the fandom was so real that it protected a villain in the game.
Just incredible. The ultimate external defense. And it seems like she made a real impression on the cast beyond just her connections.
Oh, definitely. Rob Cesternino called her incredibly smart and a businesswoman. Candice Dillard Bassett and Tara Lipinski really bonded with her over being moms. They called her America's mom.
Which is a perfect segue to another case of external forces, but this time it's the media. The interview with Austin Kroll from Southern Charm, that was tough to watch.
It really was. And it raises some serious questions about where the line is between an in-depth interview and just, exploitation.
So this was on Nick Viall's podcast, and his wife, Natalie Joy, just kept asking Austin about his sister's tragic death.
Right. His sister fell from a cliff when she was 9. Austin was only 7, and he was there. He witnessed it.
And you could see how uncomfortable he was. He even said, okay, we are switching gears. His leg was shaking. It was a clear physical sign of distress.
And despite all those signals, the questions kept coming.
The one that really crossed a line for so many people was when Natalie asked, what was this cliff?
That specific detail. It felt like it was for shock value, not for understanding, just demanding this jarring visual detail.
And the response from the Bravo community was immediate.
It was. Cameron Eubanks, his former castmate, went on social media and demanded a sincere apology from Natalie. She made a point to say that Austin and his family are some of the kindest people.
It's one of those moments where you see the community really circle the wagons to protect one of their own from what they see as media overreach.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's shift to a different kind of narrative control. Let's talk about defiance and fighting back with receipts. Starting with Meredith Marks from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Meredith is on a mission. She is going after season 6 rumors with a vengeance, basically accusing her castmates of defamation.
A total scorched earth defense. She is not letting anything slide, whether it's about her marriage or her personal habits.
So on the marriage rumors, the claim was that her husband, Seth, was out to dinner with another woman.
Right, and she didn't just deny it. She came with evidence. She says she has a text message from Todd Bradley, that's Bronwyn Newport's estranged husband, confirming it was a business dinner with 4 men. No other woman there.
That's how you control a narrative. You don't just say, it's not true. You bring external proof that blows the whole thing up.
She's doing the same thing with the drug allegations. She completely denies being a heavy drinker or a drug user, admits to maybe an occasional THC gummy for sleep, but that's it.
And then she took it a step further. It wasn't just a denial.
No, it was a challenge. This is the strategic part. She offered to take a drug test, quote, any day, anytime. And then she dropped the bombshell.
She said that when the test was actually brought up, her castmates ran.
Exactly. It completely flips the accusation back on them. Now they're the ones who look suspicious. It's a bold move to just shut down the conversation entirely.
And she also had to clear up that whole plane incident with Brittany Bateman.
Yeah, the rumor was that she dumped wine on Brittany's head. Meredith says no, that did not happen.
But she did take some accountability.
She took very specific accountability. She said she fully accepts responsibility for saying things that are not nice but true about Brittany. But she says she said them loudly to Lisa while they were on the plane. She admits it was the wrong time, wrong place.
It's such a measured apology, denying the big dramatic act, but admitting to the verbal part of it.
Very precise.
Okay, finally, let's talk about one more act of defiance, this time from outside a current cast. Mike Shode from Shaws of Sunset and his reaction to the new spinoff.
Right. So the new show is The Valley, Persian style. And it's important to remember the original Shahs of Sunset ended after Mike's legal troubles.
So this new show is launching with some of the OGs, Reza, Gigi, MJ, but the focus is different. It's about them in the Valley dealing with marriage and kids.
And Mike is not on it. And he made his feelings very clear. He posted a photo of himself, called himself an OG, and wrote that the original show cannot be duplicated.
Which everyone immediately took as shade.
Oh, it was definitely shade.
Is his way of protecting the legacy of the original show. He's basically saying that the chaos, the drama, the specific energy that he was a part of, you can't replicate that with a family-focused spinoff. It's a classic OG move.
So if we just, step back and look at all of this, what's the big takeaway? We have family illness, custody battles, deep trauma, all being processed as public entertainment.
Right. The synthesis here is that the job of a reality star has changed. It's not just about living your life on camera anymore. It's about constant active perception management. You're fighting battles in the court of law, the court of public opinion, and like we saw with the traders, even the court of the Swifties.
So every private vulnerability becomes exponentially more public and more costly.
And they're all fighting for control of their own story, whether it's Kandi versus Todd's lawyer or Meredith showing up with literal text message receipts.
That brings us back to the economics of all this. You, the viewer, you're basically a shareholder in the public life of a reality star. You invest your time and your energy in their story. That's a great way to put it.
But if the show ends, like with Mike showed, or the narrative just completely changes, what's the value of that investment you made? What is the real cost of being 90 minutes late when the private jet is fueled entirely by public interest? And that interest can disappear in a second.
A provocative thought indeed.
Thank you for sharing your sources for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.